Your name technically isn't yours. One day, people simply started making a noise at you. They made this noise again and again until eventually your brain registered that this sound meant you. Somehow, a tiny vibration in the air became attached to your entire identity. But names aren't just labels. They change how things feel. A cat without a name is an animal, but a cat named Cutie McWhiskers? That cat becomes something that deserves boops and tuna. A place without a name is just land. But give it a name, put that name on a map, and suddenly people can fight over it, miss it, sell it, write songs about it. But when did humans first look at the world and start attaching sounds to pieces of it? We don't actually know because spoken words don't fossilize. Bones can last for hundreds of thousands of years. Tools are resilient. Cave paintings can remain on walls long after the people who made them are gone. But the first spoken name? It vanished the instant it was said. So instead of finding the first name, we have to look for shadows of naming. Tools, symbols, writing, social groups, and the behavior of babies. Because babies do something fascinating. Before they can talk, they point. They point at a dog and the adult says, "Dog." Then they point again. "Dog." Again. "Dog." Again. "Dog." This is like a baby scientific experiment. The baby is asking, does that sound belong to that thing or that whole category of things? Does dog mean that dog, all dogs, four-legged animals, fluffy things? This is harder than it seems because reality doesn't come with labels. There's no glowing outline around chair. There's no dotted line where forest begins. The world is continuous. Humans cut it into pieces with words. We decide this is a mountain, this is a hill, this is a rock, this is a pebble, this is pebbles. And once you realize that, naming becomes less like pointing and more like a carving. A name cuts one thing away from everything else. Before the word tree, there were just vertical brown-green things emerging from the ground. After the word tree, there's a unit, a thing, something you can remember, own, draw, cut down, and decorate. But people were probably naming things at first because not naming things can be dangerous. Imagine trying to survive without labels. You can't just warn, "Don't eat that berry." You have to point at it, make a face, maybe act out a small berry-related tragedy, and hope everyone understands your performance. A name lets information travel without the object being there, and that might be one of the strangest powers of language. It separates a thing from its location. You can say river without standing anywhere near water. You can say fire without the fire being made. Names let the world enter the mind and move around without actually bringing the entire world with it. And humans may not be the only animals with something name-like. Bottlenose dolphins use individually distinctive signature whistles. And research has found that they can copy these whistles in ways that may function like calling or addressing specific dolphins. Which means somewhere in the ocean, a dolphin may be hearing the dolphin equivalent of Kevin and deciding whether or not to respond. This means that identity sounds don't belong only to us. Names, or things close to names, might be useful whenever social animals need to keep track of each other. Eventually, names became visible. Spoken language is ancient, but writing is much younger. When humans began pressing marks into clay, carving symbols, and recording transactions, names finally started leaving fossils of a different kind. One of the earliest possible recorded personal names we know is often said to be Kushim, found on ancient Mesopotamian tablets connected to barley records. Not a legendary warrior, not a queen, not an inventor, possibly an administrator or accountant, which honestly is so us. Humanity develops writing, and one of the first things it preserves is paperwork. But Kashim is not the first name. Kashim is one of the first names that survived the storage system. Names likely existed long before that. And then, much later, people started naming things scientifically. In the 1700s, Carl Linnaeus helped formalize the system of binomial nomenclature, giving species two-part Latin names like Homo sapiens, which means wise human, a name we gave ourselves, which is very generous. One animal can have different names in different places. Different animals can share the same name, but a scientific name tries to pin one organism down in a global filing cabinet. We also name danger. Tropical storms, for instance, are given short, distinctive names to make communication clearer, especially when multiple storms exist at the same time. We name diseases and disorders so we know how to treat them. We name forces of nature so we know how to warn people. So the first name, those words are gone, but the habit stayed. We're still doing it. Naming babies, naming feelings, naming things we understand, and especially things we don't. So when did humans start naming things? Probably long before any sort of record. Probably as soon as we became the type of animal that doesn't just react to the world, but also carry it inside our heads and hand pieces of it to each other. Anyway, if you've made it this far and you're now realizing how strange it is that before we started naming things, life was just like one giant continuous game of charades, well, that's kind of the point. Liked what your weird brain just learned? Hit subscribe. If not, that's okay. I'll just name this feeling as disappointment and move on.